She chose love over a powerful family that ruled every part of her life. And in that single moment, everything she had was gone. She's still paying the psychological price, every day, every night, in silence. This is what one emotional decision can do to a human life. It can break it, reshape it, and never let it be the same again. The door to my office opened quietly. A middle-aged woman stepped inside, carrying in her eyes a strange combination of radiance and exhaustion, as if she had been dragging something heavy through the years. There was a kind of beauty in her face that time had failed to erase, the calm classic beauty of old cinema actresses. As she sat down, her hands trembled slightly on the armrests. I introduced myself briefly and explained the safety of the therapeutic space. She held my gaze for a few seconds, as though she was weighing the burden of a decision. Then she spoke softly. "My name is Nassim. I'm 45 and I have a story, one that feels like it has been waiting for years to be heard." She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, the kind used not for calming down, but for pulling old, painful memories to the surface. When she opened her eyes again, something in them had cracked loose. I fell in love when I was 20. The kind of love that changes you or destroys you. She sighed, one of those sighs that say much more than words can. I was the daughter of one of the Khans of our town. My father was strict, proud, a man no one dared say no to. But I said it, not with words, with falling in love. Her lips curved into the faintest smile, one that tasted more bitter than sweet. I fell in love with the shop assistant, Daniel. He was simple, kind, with the kind of eyes that looked harmless, as if unaware of the world's cruelty. No one believed the Khan's daughter could ever fall for a shop assistant. But love doesn't care about these things. She intertwined her fingers, lowering her head slightly, gathering herself. When my father found out, there were threats, shouting, everything, but I was stubborn. Daniel and I decided to run away. But life, it never goes the way you imagine. A tear escaped. I handed her a tissue, paused for a moment. She gave a small smile, one of those smiles whose pain is obvious behind them. "You know, doctor, these tears, this shaking, they're all souvenirs from that time. And now, something new has happened, something that's brought everything back, and I wake up with panic attacks." Her voice grew softer, trembling slightly. "It all started on an ordinary morning. I went shopping. Daniel was there, head down, those beautiful eyes. When I finished, he carried my bags to the car. His kindness settled somewhere inside me. And the next time, and the time after, until one day, I found a letter hidden between the groceries." She paused, her eyes clouded. The letter said, "If you allow me, I would like to grow old beside you." And I agreed. We ran away, found a small house. I worked, tried to keep our life together. But slowly, a darkness came and swallowed everything. Her chin trembled, her voice dropped, like someone confessing after years of silence. Daniel changed, one day overjoyed, the next day collapsed. His world was either completely white or completely black, no gray in between. Then came the drinking. Every day, every night, he'd come home drunk, and after he got fired, the fights began. She fell silent for several seconds. Her breathing grew heavy, almost a year into our marriage, and then for 6 whole months, he beat me, and I had nowhere to go. Her gaze drifted toward the window, then back to the floor. Every time I passed by my father's house, a sigh. But I had decided to fix my marriage. I thought I had to fight. But her voice broke. 1 week later, Nassim returned for her second session. She entered the room more slowly this time, still carrying the same heaviness in her posture, but with a hint of something else as well. Perhaps hesitation, perhaps fatigue. She sat down, folded her hands in her lap, and let out a quiet breath, as if preparing herself to reopen the wounds she had tried to ignore all week. "I don't know where to start," she said softly. Her voice was thinner than the week before, like someone who had spent several nights arguing with her own thoughts. I nodded gently, giving her space. "Wherever it feels right," I said. She looked down at her fingers, twisting them anxiously. "After everything that happened with Daniel, I went back to my father's house. Not because I wanted to, because I had nowhere left to go." Her shoulders tightened as she continued. "My father didn't hug me. My mother didn't say, 'We're glad you're alive.' My brother didn't even look at me. I was a shameful reminder to them. The girl who defied the family name for love and came back broken." She swallowed hard, blinking rapidly. "I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Every corner of that house reminded me I wasn't welcome. I kept hearing Daniel's voice, his shouting, his apologies, then the sound of that last night. I felt trapped again, this time without fists, but with glances, with silence." Her voice cracked. "Doctor, I tried to end it. That night, I thought maybe everything would finally stop hurting." I didn't interrupt. Her words needed room to land. She wiped her eyes slowly. "They found me before it was too late. Not out of love, out of fear that their reputation might be damaged. And the days after that were darker than the act itself." She leaned back, exhausted by the memory. After a moment, I asked her gently, "Nasim, have you ever thought about marriage again?" She shook her head, almost sharply. "I hate men. I feel like any man I let into my life will hurt me. Maybe not with fists, but somehow. Every man." I let her words settle, then asked quietly, "Every man? Are you sure all men are the same? What about your uncle, your cousin, even your father? Despite everything, you still return to him." She looked confused for a moment, as if the thought had never occurred to her. I stood up, walked to the whiteboard, and began explaining cognitive distortions, thinking traps that shape the way we perceive the world. "One of the most common distortions," I said, writing as I spoke, "is all or nothing thinking. All men are bad. All blue-eyed people are jealous. Everything is ruined. These thoughts feel true, but they are not reality." I turned to her. "Tell me, in your whole life, have you truly never met a kind man?" She hesitated. Her eyes softened. "I had an uncle once. He was very kind. He used to protect me from my father's anger when I was little." I nodded. "See, your mind is feeding you a lie, one that keeps you in fear, depression, and misjudgment. When that thought comes up again, I want you to challenge it." She listened quietly, her expression shifting between doubt and reflection. "For next week," I added, "write down every time a thought like this appears. Don't judge it, just record it." Then I continued, "And do your relaxation exercises daily. Practice diaphragmatic breathing. Stop blaming yourself, and don't label yourself as a failure. Those labels are heavy, heavier than anything life has already put on your shoulders." Nassim nodded slowly, tired, but with a small flicker of willingness. The session ended with silence, but not the painful kind. More like the silence of someone who finally feels a little less alone. Sometimes, one choice doesn't just change a chapter, it reshapes a life. If you were in her place, start tonight with something simple. 1. Don't label yourself, no victim, no broken, just human. Try one diaphragmatic breath. Place a hand on your belly, inhale for 4, hold 2, exhale for 6, repeat 3 times. 3. Separate the choice from the person. Your past is an event, not your identity. In the next session, she says something that even shocks herself. Don't miss it, stay with us.